Meghan and Harry have it so hard. Finally, we realise that the Sussex's misfortune was entirely their own doing. A question that has our royally miserable and depressed homing missiles scurrying for heat. Is it possible that the issue is not with the world at large, but with you? Welcome back to the UK Royal News Trend programme. If you meet a jackass in the morning, you meet a jackass all day long. As the old adage goes, instead, you're a jackass if you spend all day surrounded by jerks. There is no better way to sum up Harry and Meghan's epic Netflix rant than with the release of the second and final part on Thursday morning. The fact remains, however, that Harry and Meghan are two very angry people. Their anger is the common denominator in all of their woes, despite the fact that they have been given the literal and figurative soft-focus treatment, the oh-so-casual selling of their new lifestyle, the kind of freedom that can only be found traipsing barefoot through Big Sur beaches, picking fruit from lush private gardens, or owning a private stable flush with horses. To be sure, there hasn't been a lack of horror stories about Harry and Meghan. There was the rumour that Meghan threw a tantrum over not getting the tiara she wanted, that she made a postpartum cake cry, that William and the Queen had words with the gruesome twosome about the way that they talked to staff, and that there was a high turnover rate of employees leaving H&M, sometimes in tears. A resounding no is the answer for anyone who is curious as to whether or not Harry and Meghan have considered the possibility that they are the source of the trouble. Nothing is ever their fault in this family. Zero. Aside from being such shining examples of truth and beauty that the other royals felt compelled to extinguish them. They bear no responsibility for what happened. They are naturally wonderful people. Yes, these would-be global do-gooders who promote kindness, love and humanitarianism are boiling with rage. Beyoncé reportedly texted that Meghan was selected to break generational curses that need to be healed. They are envious, bitter, vindictive and untrustworthy people. For me, the worst thing about them is that they have no sense of humour at all. They don't seem to have any sense of humour or humour about themselves at all. If you poke them in the eye, they don't just bleed, they gush, carp, wail, moan, and tear their clothes on every media platform that will pay them millions. Harry and Meghan have never been hurt or treated more unfairly than they have. After spending 6 hours with the Sussexes separately, I can say that they lack any distinguishable personality. Of course, Harry was never in a position where he needed to cultivate one. His fame, fortune, and pampered upbringing saw to that. Meghan, on the other hand, wow. Nothing about her is unique, which is surprising for someone who is so sure of her own uniqueness and who tells us here that she was so good at being an instant royal that the family bullied her out, and that she was such a blinding light that she couldn't even wear colour without upstaging her female in-laws. Certainly not even one. They say that she exemplifies the term basic. She's the second in line to the throne, and she is a California girl at heart who prefers ripped jeans and bare feet to formal attire when she meets her future in-laws. That's just the kind of unrefined, carefree, zany woman she is. What did Meghan really want on her wedding morning? To either avoid the worldwide coverage of the events leading up to the wedding, or to spend some time alone reflecting on her final days as a civilian? Nothing real with her closest loved ones. Rather, Meghan claims that all she wanted was a mimosa, a croissant, and to play Going to the Chapel. Can you get any clearer than that? Even more so, that Meghan Markle claims she didn't know much about Prince Harry before meeting him isn't her biggest sin. Her lawyer has already refuted that claim. Instead, Meghan's biggest sin is that she's boring. Perhaps that is why she's so angry with her. Maybe throwing a public tantrum so often is an attempt to make up for a lack of character. Only Meghan's royal status, which she has shown to despise and to believe she is above, has made her feel like anything more than a commoner, and yet she clings to it with an iron fist. Who knows? Maybe she recognises her for the fraud she is. Someone who spent her entire life chasing the blazing limelight that she now insists she never wanted. All of this is incredibly draining. The premise of this misguided Netflix series seems to be that they have finally found true love in their new life in the United States, a kind of unadulterated happiness that neither King Charles nor Prince William and Kate Middleton will ever experience. Is there seriously an audience for this? Is Harry really satisfied with his post-royal life, participating in low-level Zoom meetings and monitoring online comment threads for negative feedback? Or does he feel he has more to offer? That it's healthy for his wife's mental or emotional well-being if he agrees with every complaint she has. If Meghan is around and she can even turn a win into a loss, she needs to constantly feel wronged, even in the face of overwhelming good fortune. To hear Harry reflect on the success of his and Meghan's wedding, with his father walking Meghan halfway up the aisle, the Queen enthusiastically greenlighting a gospel choir for the ceremony and suggesting the very best vocalist in all of England, over 100,000 Britons lining the streets and cheering, and the media regaling this new royal couple as a breath of fresh air, especially since Meghan is soon to be expecting their first child. According to Harry, the first year was a huge success. At one point, they even did a victory lap. Harry's expression changes drastically in an instant. It's mostly his fault for straying from the main point. Only by destroying any chance of reconciliation between Harry and his brother, the future king, will Harry and Meghan accomplish anything here. Harry says he doesn't know who yelled at him. Meghan firmly promising Harry that she will never speak ill of Prince William. For the record, while attacking her husband's brother, Meghan has insisted that she will not stoop to attacking him. We can all relate to that kind of standing in the truth. All of it seems as fabricated as Meghan's repeated claims that she was prevented from seeking treatment for suicidal thoughts during her pregnancy by the palace. Or this gem, all I want is peace, which is Meghan's stated mission. It's not even fair to hate Harry and Meghan. They've made a mockery of themselves all over the world for pretending to be pacifists, when in reality, they're just heat-seeking missiles of misery. Nothing they say can be taken seriously, but if you approach the show with a sense of humour and treat it as pure camp, then Harry and Meghan can be a mildly entertaining spectacle. What could be more real life than running away from a multi-million-dollar mansion in Vancouver and taking a private jet to a second multi-million-dollar mansion that, according to Harry, is on loan from a friend they've never met, the famous Hollywood filmmaker Tyler Perry? How about that for genuineness? You know, Harry and Meghan issued a statement in the days leading up to the Oprah sit-down, saying that interview would be their last chance to speak publicly. Almost 3 years have passed since then. This Netflix production is so shallow and unimaginative that it ends with our two heroes relaxing in the Californian sun at the end of their journey. I'm sorry to say this too, is not true. Happiness is out of reach for Harry and Meghan. Also, they clearly don't want to be. A father, brother, nieces, nephews and sister-in-law being killed is just the cost of doing business for these people, who are the captains of their own misery industrial complex. Yes, and you? Have you got your agreement? If so, share your thoughts on Harry and Meghan in the comments section. If you think our video will be helpful to your friends right now, please like and share it with them. If you'd like to hear more from us, you can subscribe to our UK Royal News Trend channel. Now, I'd like to thank you for watching and say goodbye until the next video.